Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Chimmel, the GOAT of ring announcers. And you're listening to the Marks Podcast on YouTube.
There was roller dogs. Gerard ate them all before the show started.
Before we get into our normal business today, I got to say one thing.
Are you going to talk about the fucking panhandle?
No, not much about that. I'm going to say 34 years ago today was my last official show working with WWF. And I'm going to tell you, it might sound crazy to a lot of people, but it's probably the best decision I ever made in my life. It made me a better man for leaving, getting up, walking away. I probably would have never met my wife, probably would have never had my kids if I didn't walk away from that company. 34 years ago today in Portland, Maine was the last show I did. Officially for them.
But you never walked away.
Yes, I did. I walked away.
You kept going back.
No. I walked away from that company. I walked away from the company.
You kept going back.
No.
I've seen the photos of you in John Cena's locker room. I'm sorry, John Cena's.
What I mean is it's the last, like as an employee, independent contract, whatever. Today would have been the last day. And I was 19 years old, and I say to myself, I don't regret for 1 minute ever walking away.
What's going on, John?
And for what other people have told me there, because of what I became, what the company I became with and got in with, and when I retire from the job I have now, and I have a pension and stuff like that,
you did the right. I think you made the right move. I mean, I don't think the company itself would have fucked you over. I don't think they would have corrupted you, but you probably would have been more of a dick. I'm grateful you left because you and I probably would have never met because, yeah.
No. I think under the circumstances, if I stayed around with the people that were there, one person in particular, I think my life would have ended up differently. So,
could have become a real douche.
I might have ended up in jail too.
That's still a possibility, knowing your ass.
Because I might have taken some asshole from Yonkers, New York to school, and I might have ended up behind bars. So
on the Twitch side of things, we're sorry, but apparently there's ads now on Twitch.
Oh, okay.
I know you did it, but Reaper's gonna, be Reaper. He wants roller. See, he's basically like Gerard. He wants roller dogs and all kinds of shit. So,
listen, you saw me eat. I'm up for a good old hot dog.
Yeah, you eat corn. You eat corn the long way. That's why.
But I'm just like, well, actually,
he's stumbling a lot over there, and all I did was say,
that's a southern thing. I'll tell you that right now. Eating corn, wait, because up here in the north, most of it comes on a corn dog, but corn on the cob, you eat sideways.
So can we talk about wrestling now, or are we going to keep talking about corn?
The thing about the wrestling thing, the reason why I bring up the other thing is because the other report that we saw this week was somebody from your lovely state had his channel taken down because he was falsifying information. And you know what I say about that?
You were surprised?
No. I say congratulations.
I was selling everybody a bill of goods. The one thing that anybody can say about us is, like us or not, we were fucking honest. And it is what it is. He had an issue with me calling him a degenerate and a fucking loser. And I stood by that because of his fucking allegations and the stupid shit. And then when he had you on his show, he doctored the footage. He lied like he does, and he bullshit. He played a fucking game. Whenever you would ask him to have a conversation one-on-one, didn't have to be here. It wasn't about fucking viewership. We were just like, you and me are fans of wrestling and Jacoby, and we like to bullshit and have a good time. Never once has it been about notoriety or anything. Cool.
Well, the first night I did a show with Monty and the Pharaoh, Monty invited him on, and he did not want to be part of that in any which way, shape, or form because he thought I was illegitimate. And I look at it like, and I've always
This comes from a guy who literally was at the broadcast for his fucking brother and hid in the bushes.
Well, here's the thing, and I hope you understand this when I say this. If he had kept it about that subject and not made it about him, maybe things turn out different. But when you turn around and you talking about, oh, how can I financially gain from this? Because that's
you and I have full-time fucking jobs. We make a decent living, and
I also look at this. I say to myself, someone who's 65 years old and never held from what you look at, a real job in the world, and then to be collecting social.
Well, and to be fair, shout out, I'll shout out Monty, fucking Monty and the Pharaoh. I've always dug them as far as like being straightforward guys. I mean, I don't always agree with their shit, but like, they'll take some Paul Roma and all this shit, man. Fuck Paul Roma and fuck all that bullshit.
And Dan, in the wrestling business, you'll understand this. You can have disagreements.
Yeah.
You don't always have to agree. But the common cause is this. You want to see the business succeed. You don't want to tear the business down.
Fair.
Just like with your Major League Baseball, NFL, hockey, and basketball and stuff. You want to see the business succeed. You don't always like the decisions your owners make.
No.
But you're either
but the thing about those particular sports and fucking pro wrestling, which we both love near and dear to our hearts, is those other sports, which I would call legitimate fucking sports compared to what wrestling is, have journalists that are fucking called into question and say, hey, fuckface, this is what's the truth. And you're allowed to have fucking idiots like that douchebag from fucking the Panhandle who just got busted for falsifying his fucking sub count and all that other shit. You let that guy go on and propagate a fucking narrative of bullshit.
I'm trying to think of Adam Scheffler from NFL. Could you imagine him making up stories?
I'll say it. It's fucking Lee. Lee Cole's a fucking douchebag, and that's again my opinion. There, Lee, eat a dick. But he went on that whole tangent about how he had fucking still photographs of fucking Mel doing stuff and touching people and all this other shit. And what did we do? That same fucking week, we put the fucking footage out there, and you have everybody in the chat that day going, oh my God, where'd you get this footage? Why don't the lawyers have this? Oh, what's going on? And then the big bombshell at the end where you drop off and say, oh, we found it on YouTube.
Well, think about that too, okay?
It was on fucking YouTube.
It was part of the Boy Scouts. The Boy Scouts wanted to hold a charity fundraiser for, let's see, the son of a prominent WWE vice president. And somebody tried to say, oh, this is all part of the sexual stuff. Oh, okay. Let's just show the daughter going up and hugging her father, who was the vice president. Let's show the son cleaning the ring.
That was weird.
Hold on. Let's show.
No. Yeah, with a technical issue, I hit the fucking mouse, and all of a sudden, I was out and in.
Yeah, what I'm saying is the amount of stuff that was shown from that one video. They always say a picture's worth 1,000 words. So how many words did that video show to where it's like, wait a minute, you have this guy putting all this crap out there, but then you show the video, it's like, wait a minute. A father hugging his daughter, the son doing the ring, the wife over here. Oh, this guy that you're saying is doing stupid stuff, he's in the middle of the ring announcing, and I'm just doing my job. But let's go beyond that to say, doing the jobs last night.
So there's some stuff that's probably going to come up with this, and I know you're going to bitch, you're going to moan, and there's some stuff that I don't even know if you caught as far as the referees and shit. But we'll start with the first one. Fucking Elimination Chamber, the ladies. I think we kind of made Trips finally go that Tiffany Stratton is not the squirting, the fucking screaming shits. I think she actually enjoyed her performance last night. Am I wrong in that?
You didn't convince me of anything. I'm going to
tell you.
And all right. I'm not a Tiffany Stratton fan. I wasn't won over. It's okay. The bitch took a beating and gave as good as she got.
Jesus.
The amount of praise she's going to get out of me.
Roxanne Perez, I don't think still belonged in the match. Kiana James.
Roxanne Perez wasn't in the match.
I mean, let's see. Raquel Rodriguez, sorry.
She needs better costuming.
Raquel Rodriguez didn't belong. Kiana James showed that she did belong.
You're only saying that because Kiana James was wearing a fucking outfit her tits are about to bust out of.
No, I think it showed she did belong because she did some stuff that was like, okay. I think she performed better than Raquel Rodriguez.
La Ruga.
The problem with Raquel Rodriguez to me is this, okay?
I may actually agree with him right here, though. So
she's all size and no ability. She just, because of her size, people think because of her size, she cannot work in the ring at all. She just can't do it.
So I'm going to say this later about somebody else. I have no room to talk. I'm a big fucking. I'm about 320, about 6'5". I'm a big dude. You've seen me, you've met me, whatever. I probably shouldn't be talking about fucking physique, but I'm going to say something about physique because you're in a profession where you're supposed to be larger than life. Can you agree with that? That the people that we're watching, not everybody gets to do that. It's a privilege to be a quote unquote superstar, right? Can you agree with that?
Yes, and at her size, she should be carrying herself in a much bigger way.
What I'm getting at is not just carrying herself in a bigger way. What I'm getting at is we have someone here, in my opinion, who doesn't look the part. If you're going to call yourself big sexy, you're calling yourself the female version of Kevin Nash, then you need to fucking live up to that. Like you need to be in peak physical condition. Because remember, if you looked at a 20-year-old, a 30-year-old, hell, even a fucking 60-year-old Kevin Nash, the man is in good shape. And she is not. I'm sorry, that's just what I see. That gear she wore, I would hope that she never wears animal print again. It just doesn't. It was worse than fucking Nia Jackson, the Buzz Lightyear outfit we always clowned about. I like Raquel Rodriguez. I love the character. I love the influence of that Southern California fucking gangster Mexican fucking style to the Judgment Day. I dig it, brother. I am on it. I love her theme music. When that La Ruga comes over, I told her last night, I thought it was slick. I thought it was cool. She's not living up to her gimmick where others are. Fucking Liv Morgan comes off more believable than Raquel. And that's a problem for me, for that character.
And that's the thing to where I'm like, you saw 5 other women in that match last night that I honestly were busting their ass in that ring. And Raquel looks like the woman who, no matter what I do, they're going to let me stay in here anyway because of my look. You can have all the look you.
But okay, you said it yourself. Jump in. What look?
I'm saying she has the epitome of the look.
Oh, she doesn't.
She has the epitome of the ability, though.
She doesn't have the look. She's big for no reason.
That's what I'm saying. She got that look. You know what her look is? Different from the Barbie dolls. That's what her look is.
No.
Asuka's different from the Barbie dolls.
No.
Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss is not a Barbie. Rhea Ripley is not a Barbie. That her gear, her look is not. No, it does not make her stand out. It was extremely distracting and not flattering.
What I meant by that is this. All the other women, okay, when they're all going and stuff like that, they almost can all do the same. Raquel Rodriguez is supposed to have this look about her that was she's supposed to be different.
Okay, so she's trying to live off the Andre effect, and I'm going to take a look. I'm going to take a line from you. You'll understand what I'm saying when I say this. I hope. Andre was a novelty. Andre was a spectacle. When Andre was on that screen, you knew some big shit was about to happen. That da 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 da. He would come out and he would beat the shit out of somebody. But he wasn't throwing choke slams. He was using wrestling holds, and he was just a massive man. Okay.
All you want to do was see what Andre was going to do.
China, ninth wonder of the world, Joni Lawler, God rest her soul, one of the greatest professional acts you could ever see in the world. She understood, and it's not a matter of being, you not being accepting of yourself, right? It's not a matter of trying to say that you're conforming to the world's fucking ideals. It's a matter of as beautiful of a person that Joni Lawler was, she understand that cosmetically she may not be the most appealing person. So she took it upon herself. She got the facelift. She got the boob job. She did all that stuff. She invested in herself because she knew that she was on a platform and she could, the idea of being the muscle was not going to last forever. And it's not a knock at Joni.
She lived the gimmick that they wanted her to live, and she enhanced it.
Yes.
That's the key. She enhanced the gimmick. Raquel Rodriguez, they're trying to get her to that level.
But she's coasting.
Right.
Okay, and John made a comment earlier, and John said something about her wanting to just do movies, and that's why she's there. I 100% believe that shit. I believe that Raquel Rodriguez is just there because she's on TV.
As a stepping stone to get to somewhere else.
And I can't respect that. And, if you love, you breathe, you sweat this. Look at someone like Rhea Ripley, who's in there. And if you go back to when Edge started the Judgment Day with Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, and she had the short haircut, and you could tell she was not completely comfortable with herself. And look for her from her there to now. Oh my God, she is this world's version of China.
She sings her entrance theme.
We were just talking about it.
She sings it
because she loves this. She loves wrestling. Anything that comes after is great. She loves wrestling.
You say she loves wrestling. I say she loves her role in wrestling.
Time out. While we're on that subject, hold that thought. Leland, I do not. I think that she has the capability to be something good. I liked where she was going, and I will bust Gerard's balls about her, but I like Kiana James. I think that it's good. It's a good thing she's stepping out of the shadow of Julia, because Julia is not an investment that they are getting their money back on.
We've seen before to where two people get into a group and the one they push is not always the one they should be pushing.
Exactly.
And this is the case of they pushed Julia, but they should have been pushing Kiana.
Well, they put Julia with Kiana James because Julia can't speak English for shit.
Right.
Again, I think Julia is an amazing talent, but I also think Julia has an ego, kind of like another Horseman offspring, a Tessa Blanchard, who thinks that her past and her relevance comes from her name. Julia has a name in Japan. Julia is a big deal in Japan. Julia caused a lot of problems in Japan because of controversies, but Julia thought that her shine, her show, and she was doing it in an NXT.
I'm glad you bring that up because I want you to think about that. Could you imagine if Ashley Flair had just lived off her name? But she's never have just lived off her name.
But okay, so people, I know when Jacob was here, Jacob constantly, and if Jacob was here and we were talking about Charlotte, he would basically go into calling her Rick with tits, and he would say X, Y, and Z. But you have to look at the body of work that Charlotte's done. Let's go back to NXT. Let's talk about where she wasn't in this match, which I think is kind of odd. I think that was a choice. I don't know if I agree with it.
Listen, I actually enjoyed the fact that she wasn't there because why? It gave some of the up and comers. It gave some of the up and comers.
Okay, well, would you have rather had her there than fucking Raquel?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly.
No.
Okay, so let's do this differently.
You would have had her and Alexa squaring off against each other.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That team is going to break up at some point.
Yep.
I look forward to that match. I also look forward to a tag team involving Rhea and Alexa. I think that would be money. Look at the chemistry between them. When Rhea came in, she stops at Alexa's pod, and she's like, her face is on the glass.
I actually love the fact of how they let the women come in, the ones who weren't going to get in the match first, and go to each pod.
Okay, and I like that. Different from the men's later on, where Javon Evans and them were taking too fucking long. Let's get it going. But the match was okay. I wouldn't say it was the best elimination chamber match I'd ever seen. Do I think the right woman won? Absolutely. If it's not going to be Bianca taking on Jade, I would love to see Rhea Ripley taking on fucking Jade Cargill at Mania. I think that I don't know. I don't think that I don't think they got a lot of options right now. I would love to see Chelsea Green move up into that level, but we got to get Chelsea there.
We'll get to that point in a minute. You're getting ahead of us now, but we will get there. My thing about it was this: you had Jade Cargill.
Did I say Javon Williams, Javon Evans?
No. Yeah, I know what he's talking about. We'll get to that point later on.
Okay.
The one thing I wish that would have happened last night is Jade came down to the ring.
Did it need it though?
The way that Chicago crowd was last night,
Flat.
to pop them right off the bat.
Flat.
You ever come down to the ring?
Flat.
Yeah.
Flat
Was
as
it
shit.
flat or was it the acoustics and the audio? Because I didn't really even.
Was it Boo or was it Boo Earns?
I'll put it like this. For most of the night, it was like they were sitting on their hands waiting for something.
They had to put a fucking meter on the screen to say, look, this is what the fans really sound like.
Listen, I've been in some of them buildings, like the Cap Center in Washington. They used to have a meter up in the corner. I saw that meter hit 111 one time. You know what 111 decibels? Oh,
You know what that was? That was a janitor fucking cleaning up after a match. That's what that was for that.
no,
meter.
that was in Hogan popped that 111.
So Rhea Ripley wins the match. She took a hell of a bump. I think that was real. I think we were looking at the gear because we have this fucking 80-inch TV. We were talking about that. You know, we can be hypercritical because with an 80-inch TV, you don't miss much. I'm just going to be honest with you. And, I've noticed it in UFC fights. I've noticed it during any kind of fucking anything we watch. You see damn near everything. I can see into their fucking, like, down to their
The dimple of the ass cheeks.
I can see the dimples on the ass cheeks. I can see the tiny little fucking rhinestones on their gear. But I still would say I think that the right person won. When she landed on top of Raquel, I think one of the studs, the spiked studs, hit Rhea in the back, and that's why she was like in so much pain at the end of the match.
Listen, there was some moves in there that you look like, holy Christ, how is she walking?
I think, well, at her age, I think Asuka was killing it. I think Asuka did a fantastic job.
I won't lie, I thought it was creative how they had Raquel pin Asuka and Kiana at the same time.
It didn't do anything for her.
That's the problem. It didn't do for her what it did for somebody else later on in the night. Let me put it that way.
Well, I'll say about that, and I'll leave it alone after this. But I think that Raquel Rodriguez needs a fresh coat of paint. She needs an injury angle. She needs to go away for 6 months, get her shit together. And I'm not knocking her. I know she's been through a lot with health and stuff like that.
Or she needs to take out Liv Morgan and turn it into a babyface angle. And
I think that's coming at some point, but I do think that Raquel needs to go away. I think she needs to go away, tighten herself up, go hang out with Sheamus for a couple months, and just like pound it out. I mean, just get herself into fucking like real ring shape.
But again, my question about that is this: does she come back looking like China though? Do we want that to where you get the Chris Jericho or something like that saying, "Yeah, it looks like you got enhanced a little bit while you're away, huh?"
And if she decides to do this, I'm not saying that she needs to go that far, but I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that even you can see through her gear, she's a little flabby. I'm trying to watch my words here because I'm not trying to be that guy, that dick, but I'm not feeling it. Okay, I'm just not. I'm not feeling it.
My thing is too is, and you'll understand this, and I'm hoping she does too, is we never want to body shame.
No, it's not about that. It's about being.
But when you're in the ring with a bunch of girls who've had that much surgery done.
No. You see, you're talking about surgery. I'm talking about fucking physique.
That's what I'm saying. To where how much enhancement was in that ring last night.
But I don't need it. I'm not talking about the enhancement. You can look, if we want to talk about Kiana James, you want to talk about fucking Tiffy time, all that shit. I'm not talking about that. Look at fucking Rhea Ripley. All she does is keep fit, and you can tell she put a lot of effort into making herself look slim, healthy.
How many times did they mention it last night that she's now been in basically the main event for 5 WrestleManias?
Great, but again, part of that comes from the way she carries herself. Look at, and you can speak on this too. It's not about me wanting fucking Raquel Rodriguez to get a boob job or ass implants. I want her, even Nia Jax, is taking her physique and changing it. Whether people are joking about her being on Ozempic or whatever, she's doing something about it. She knows that she's in front of a bunch of people.
What you just said. It's not that she's doing something. Guess what? She's getting people to take away from the focus of her body because of work. Where Raquel, okay, if her work was better, nobody would focus on her physical.
But what I'm saying is, even Nia Jax's work got better.
That's what I'm saying.
It wasn't just her losing weight. It was like she made a conscious decision to fix everything. It wasn't about.
What I'm saying to is, if Raquel Rodriguez could get better on the other side, nobody would give a crap about her physique.
No, but I also would agree. I would say that Raquel does a better job than Jade in the ring. I'll say that Raquel Rodriguez is 100% better than Jade in the ring because at least she knows how to wrestle big.
No
Do you think
Tara might be better than Jade Cargill in the ring?
What I'm saying is Raquel knows how to wrestle like a big person. She's slow. She's methodical about it. She doesn't, and I can't argue this enough.
I think they need to, there's not enough women to do it with, to where she needs to only work women her size to hide.
That's not how you, but that's not how you do it, though, Gerard. Think about this. The Big Show, and I always go back to Paul White's explanation of this. He was taking beating after beating because he was trying to wrestle like a fucking cruiserweight, and Steve Austin and The Undertaker and everybody in between was getting in his ass and wrestle big. Wrestle, what does that mean? What is that? It means wrestle fucking big, you dipshit. Wrestle fucking big. It means slow it down. You know that
Go watch 3 tapes of freaking Andre and see how Andre did.
No. Do you know Mark Calloway used to do that when he was Mean Mark? Used to do the high flying shit. Used to do the off the top of the rope shit. All that other stiff shit. Percy Pringle pulled him aside and said, "Come on, buddy, you got to." And he watched Michael Myers. He watched movie horror figures, and he started watching and implementing their styles into his wrestling, and it slowed it down. He's going to get a pop. We know that. He's just a big guy. Mark Calloway was going to get a pop. He was a unique look. The Undertaker gimmick was fucking amazing. Best gimmick of all time, you ask me, longevity-wise. But these people like to continue this fucking notion of, everybody's got to get the fucking Uso pop. Everybody's got to fucking get that Yeet pop. You're not built to do that. You know, Diesel, they used to give him shit because he had 6 moves and one of them was a hair flip. But that motherfucker made money. That motherfucker was the champion. That motherfucker did business. You want to call yourself fucking Big Mommy Cool, then act the fucking part. And she does it. She slows her shit down.
Basically saying, if you're going to talk the talk, walk that walk. So
I think she has every bit of wrestling ability for what little she's showing. I'll be honest with you. I don't think look, they should have her sit down. And if she wants to imitate the Scott Halls and the fucking Kevin Nashes of the world, have her sit down and really, you remember whenever Glenn Jacobs played the fake Diesel, what did they do? They had fucking Cornette go over there and make a fucking tape of all these moves and what Diesel did. Well, then you throw motherfuckers in the corner. You start working that fucking elbow. You lift that big boot up into the throat and fucking choke them with it. You slow it the fuck down. She already uses that Tejana bomb. Tighten that up.
We can go back to before that. Let's go back to Brian Lee.
Brian Lee was a great example.
When he was doing the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Okay? What's the one thing they never did? They never bring the camera in close.
No. So beyond that, we're talking about moves. We're not talking about camera work.
Right.
If she would tighten her shit up, she would be amazing. I think there's a world and there's a future for someone like a fucking Raquel Rodriguez to be a big-time champion, to be a WrestleMania main eventer for the females.
She should be squashing 90% of the roster.
But she doesn't look the part.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but she...
Now, on the other hand, her counterpart in Liv Morgan, now that is a night and day transformation. She has accepted the role. She has done everything she's supposed to. She's done an amazing fucking job. So that's the thing. Oh, and we're going to get to that, Nate's Hangouts. We're going to get to that shit. I think Raquel Rodriguez, again, has all the potential in the world to be a great fucking... She's so fucking unique. So fucking unique. But we'll see what happens.
You know, I like that. I like John's comment about all those guys back in the day had respect for the business. Pretty much all of them were great. Even the job guys back then, if they were still around, they're getting respect now running wrestling schools. Okay? Because most of them back then knew they were there for one reason. To get the established guys over.
And then again, what did Macho always say back in the day? I respect this man more than anybody else because he makes me look good. Yeah.
That's what it is. And, you know, when you look at the women like the Livs and stuff like that, to where
Liv.
I think we can all agree Liv is probably about as close to the female Eddie that we're going to get.
I don't say that. I would say that Liv has the potential to be closest to the fucking Shawn Michaels. Liv is a multi-tool player, I think. I think Liv can do high flying. I think Liv can fucking do fucking technical work.
What I meant by that is the lying, the cheating, and stealing, to where she does anything she can to win the match.
But I think that's part of her that feeds off Dominic. And who would have fucking thought we would be talking positively about Dominic Mysterio fucking 3 years ago?
Listen, okay? Like I said, after the first match last night, you'd say, okay, the first match was done almost correctly. All right?
Yeah.
Then we go to the second match.
I would love your opinion on this because I have my own, but we'll talk about the second match was, of course, AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. And the first thing I want to ask you is, did they have them come out the right way? Did they have when they had Becky come out first and then AJ follow? Because they're in Chicago, do you think they did that the right way?
Unfortunately, because me being old school, no, because old school way says the champion always comes out second.
Well, no, it's a champion's prerogative, and that's always been the argument. The champion decides when they want to come out.
But you get my point on that, to where having Becky in the ring already, I think took away from some of AJ's spot. But I get why they did it, because they wanted the hot crowd going into the match.
Well, they did the same thing with Edge in Canada whenever he was taking on John Cena. He came out first in Toronto years ago.
Right. As far as the match itself went, though,
okay,
slow, methodical, and it took forever to get to the finish once the Guga started happening. And I'm like,
so before we get to that, I want to come out with this. I'm going to point this out. I think that Becky's ring gear was atrocious. It didn't help.
Well, if you were wearing your wife's stuff, yeah, that's exactly what would be.
I think that I didn't like the sleeves on it. I don't know. It wasn't the Becky Lynch that I want to see, the Becky Lynch that we started liking back in the day.
That's if you liked her. My problem was this. It's always been she was a one-trick shot.
Okay, no, but I need to express this because we've taken a lot of time to bury fucking Becky, and it's not fair because we have to really acknowledge what this woman has done.
Is she the best woman wrestler ever? No.
No, I'm not saying that, but she made it.
Not just you saying that though.
Oh, shut the fuck up. She made it mainstream, Gerard. Think about this. As much as we love the AJ Lee promo of "You can't lace up my Chuck Taylors," right?
Yep.
And we love that she was talking shit and she buried all the fucking divas, right? Becky was part of that group after Paige of girls that changed the way we looked at women's wrestling. Now, hear me out.
You hear what you just said?
What?
Becky was part of girls that helped change. So Becky didn't do it by herself.
No, but hear me out. I'm going to get to that.
AJ's promo
may have stop. AJ's promo may have started it, but she was gone. And I'm not knocking fucking AJ for leaving. She had other reasons to leave. Her husband getting fucked with, all the other. She left, but she was gone. And there was some mental issues. I get that, but she was gone. All right, not harping on that. So then you had Paige, you had fucking Sasha Banks, Bayley, Charlotte, Becky Lynch.
Yep.
Now hear me out. Paige was supposed to be a big deal. Well, that kind of floundered out with her issues with fucking Alberto Del Rio and all the other shit. Okay. Sasha Banks was supposed to be a big deal, but you couldn't get a match out of her unless someone carried her. Let's just call it what it was. Charlotte, she's great. She is probably one of the greatest of all time, but she wasn't hitting that mainstream appeal. And Bayley was always going to be your fucking kid sister. Even when she turned heel, it was never going to be mainstream. Becky Lynch, the one that was not supposed to be the most successful, Becky Lynch took an incident where there was a mistake. Her nose got busted open, and she ran with it. She took and did what none of those other women did.
She turned into Austin, is what she did.
She did. And that was smart. She took that all the way to the first women's main event with Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania.
The worst fit of all time.
I know, but hear me out. She did it. She did it, though, Gerard. She did something that no other woman had done up to that point, and she made wrestling as a woman cool. Because Gerard, I will tell you as a fan, I watched that. I was like, go, Becky. Good for you. And the man character was great. But here's the problem. Just like with Steve Austin and just like any fucking superstar face, it's always in the journey. It's never with them holding the title, because once they get the title, the story's over. Perfect example right now going on. Cody Rhodes. Once he got that title, who gives a fuck about his story?
The thing to me with Becky compared to, okay, like I said, at the time AJ was cutting the promo she was cutting, there wasn't another. When she said they couldn't lace her Chuck Taylors,
they couldn't.
She wasn't kidding though. The thing with Becky was she had at least 5 women
that failed.
No,
make it mainstream,
but could at least compete with her.
Yes, but they couldn't
compete with AJ.
But they weren't making it mainstream. They couldn't do what she did. And say what you want about Becky, but she made it mainstream. It is what it is. I'm not just saying it. Bleacher Report saying it.
No.
ESPN is saying it.
Hold on. But she didn't do it alone. 5 of the 5 women that you just basically mentioned got her to that point.
She wrestled them. But if they had gotten her to that point, Gerard, why weren't they as popular? Well, if Mercedes Moné was so great, why aren't we talking about her right now?
First of all, we all can agree. Mercedes Moné in the ring, sound on the mic, couldn't carry your socks on the mic.
Okay, so but what I'm saying is this.
Hold on. Other than the fact that she also couldn't stay healthy. Charlotte Flair on the mic could bury Becky. In the ring.
Charlotte was not the greatest on the mic. You don't believe me? Ask fucking Tiffany Stratton.
What I'm saying is, in the ring, could bury Becky. Another one, though, could she stay healthy?
Becky was healthy as shit.
No, I'm saying Charlotte, Mercedes.
Then why didn't they? Okay, but why didn't they do it? Why isn't Bayley a household name?
And I'm saying to you, injuries caught them at the worst possible.
What I'm saying is
Becky stayed healthy.
Okay, so you're saying because Becky took better care of herself, which is her job, because Becky knew what to do and what to say on the mic.
Listen, all these other people are freak accidents with knee injuries and stuff like that.
Okay, but what I'm saying is because Becky took advantage. She got punched in the fucking nose. It exploded everywhere, but she took advantage of that and made it into an opportunity.
Did she take advantage, or did the audience put her there? I think more the audience got her there.
There's a Jacoby. Well, we have a wild Jacoby in the building.
I'm saying is the audience got her there more than she got herself there. Okay.
What you got, Jacob?
Speak up, son.
Jacob?
Am I being heard?
Yes, you're being heard.
Yep. Let's see. Hello. I am out in front of my work right now. I'm on a break right now. Yeah. If we're talking about Becky Lynch, I think she really did a disservice because she had the audacity to get pregnant, and how dare she?
Really?
I don't know. Am I being heard?
Yeah, she's being heard, right? Really?
Yeah, no, I'm just fucking around. No, I mean, Well, what are we talking about right now? Like,
So we're talking about the AJ Lee Becky Lynch match, but Gerard is so quick to bury Becky, and I'm not the biggest Becky fan, but we cannot deny the contributions that Becky has given. She made wrestling fucking mainstream, and she's the one who beat Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania, giving them the first main event for women at WrestleMania.
yeah, I mean, that's probably the only argument to have there. This match was okay. Like I wouldn't, I'd say it's probably top 10 AJ Lee matches, but that's not really, much to say there. Even though I love AJ Lee, but this was fine. It did what it needed to do. Yeah, I really got no complaints about this. I am going to go back to work because I only got a limited window and the Wi-Fi here blows shit for Skittles. So I might be back. We'll see. But yeah, Danhausen rules. That's all I got to say.
We're going to get to that.
I'll try to get back on. But yeah, no, you guys are very choppy right now, and it's very annoying. I thought Fry's Wi-Fi would be better, but it's not.
We love you, Jacob.
Yeah. Love you guys.
So the match did what I think it needed to do. Yes, it was very slow paced, but I think the argument to be made is I don't knock AJ Lee. One, she's been gone for all these years. But two, the level of competition she's wrestling now far surpasses anything that AJ was wrestling back in the day.
And that's what I'm saying to you. So I'm saying to you, where you have the girls who you have today, the speed content of them today compared to 10 years ago, everything is much more quicker paced. So when you see AJ now, does AJ, I think within 3 minutes of the match yesterday, she was gassed.
I wouldn't say that. You said the speed level. I think that it's just not the same pace. And she's wrestling. And again, I talked to Trips about this yesterday. Punk and her are training together, but Punk is not her style. Punk is more of a grounded. He's got some submission in there. He has one aerial move, which is the elbow drop, which I've always thought his elbow drop does not really pay homage to the Macho Man as much as people think. It's kind of sloppy. And I'm not knocking Punk. Please don't ram my throat and talk shit. Punk is not my style. On the mic, great. In the ring, not for me.
And that's what I'm saying. So, like I said, when I'm watching this match last night, I'm looking, I'm like, okay, AJ, where you were 10 years ago, and don't get me wrong, nobody does the same job for 10. Nobody leaves a job and after 10 years come back and they're at the exact same level they were 10 years ago.
Agreed.
And to put it on Becky in this point too, Becky's not what she was 10 years ago either.
Well, I agree, but Becky's been having a slow decline, but she's not really declined that much. This is just Becky's style. We know that. Becky's a brawler in there. She's not a high flyer, and styles make fights, right?
But she also does, is it me or sometimes when she's in the ring, if she's not talking, Becky doesn't pull a lot of the old, I'm going to say, heel moves.
We'll go back to a comment we had about what her and Steve Austin. When Steve Austin went heel after all those years, he became fucking Vince's buddy. He wasn't the same guy. He was able to do so much more when he was that nasty fucking solo heel.
He had a four-letter word that he turned to that he was supposed to be booed out of the building.
But I'm saying is I'm not talking about the what chance. She's become the smarmy heel. If she was a badass heel, that'd be different. Right. Steve Austin beat you, but he had the Rick Rude effect.
She's like the weasel heel to where it's like, yeah, okay. And and people, the weasel heel gets on your nerves. It just does. Because that weasel heel, they want to see that weasel heel technically go away.
Yeah.
And has Becky run her course to where it's like, okay, we've seen your baby face, we've seen your heel, we've seen you this.
I'll go so far as even say, like her entrance music now, it screams somebody who should be a good guy who's a roughneck badass, and she's not that. Now we're gonna get to
and obviously with the way that she dresses, it doesn't help either.
I will get into the end of the match, which I know you're going to have all kinds of comments about because I know how much you hate Jessica Carr because she's a better referee than you'll ever be.
That did nothing to do with Jessica Carr.
But that Jessica Carr put in the turnbuckle. Jessica Carr took a beating in his match. Let's just call it like it is. And what I really believe is this is going to lead into a match between Becky Lynch and Jessica Carr at WrestleMania.
And my only downfall to this, I can sit here complain about Becky Lynch. Don't have her lose that match.
Why?
You can't have referees beating the boys. You can't.
She's a wrestler. Jessica Carr is a referee.
I'm saying to you, I know what she is. I'm saying to you this. You can't have referees beating the boys.
I'm sorry. Jessica Carr was a wrestler first.
But then here's my thing. She comes in, she wrestles, she beats one boy, then she wants to wrestle all the time.
This is not okay. This is not your favorite referee of all time. Hold on. This is not your favorite referee of all time. Aubrey Edwards getting in the ring. This is Jessica Carr getting in the ring, who is a wrestler. Go ahead.
What if she does lose, though? What if Becky loses and they can use that to take her out and reset her fucking story?
And that's my thing. Is so okay, you do the story
Becky needs
like that. But if Jessica wins, does she go back to refereeing, or now she wanted to? And then now you have her in the ring with the other girls, two of the other girls just destroy her.
But Jessica is a wrestler.
Here, what my saying is, I'm asking you.
No, she's not, John. She is not a Danny Davis.
Correct, and that's why I'm saying to you, Danny could actually work in the ring too.
So Jessica has been wrestling.
I'm saying to you this: if you have her win her first match, but then you have her lose all the other ones.
You know who was a really good wrestler in Ring of Honor, who became a backstage commentator, who's actually, I think she's married to one of Pretty Deadly. Quinn McKay, who came over to NXT. She was a commentator, but the girl can fucking wrestle.
That's what I'm asking you, though, is does it hurt Jessica Carr to get in the ring? And
there's no expectations for her. There's none. There's just, look, if you look at Jessica Carr and you look at her physique, look at her in her referee gear, and you tell me that she doesn't have a great physique and she's ready to go, you're full of shit.
I'm not saying she doesn't. I'm only asking you, though.
This isn't like you wrestling, all right?
She does it and loses constantly.
Who says she's going to lose?
This is there.
You let her wrestle. Just let her wrestle.
So let her get her ass kicked.
Okay. You don't think there's plenty of people. You don't think that fucking Lee Cole doesn't want to wrestle you?
Now, but here's my question for you. But now if she wins, what do people say? Oh, she should have been wrestling all along.
Why the fuck can't you just listen and like a new storyline? Why? You know what? You go with shit like cardboard cuts against people, but you can't get on board with a referee.
Listen, if you think about it like that, the only one I've ever seen be successful like that is the aforementioned Dangerous One. And it didn't last long because it has to come across as believable. Hold on. For years, all you've been doing is making the 3 count. Now you're going to turn around and get in the ring and all of a sudden be this.
She's been a wrestler this whole time, and the fandom, because kayfabe is fucking dead, knows it.
But you're not getting my point to what I'm saying to you. But if she gets in the ring all of a sudden, and regardless of what the fandom might know, she's not portrayed it on television. On television, she's portrayed as a referee.
Okay.
If all of a sudden they put her in there as a wrestler, and all of a sudden she's winning constantly, the one thing fans are going to say, well, why wasn't she wrestling all the time in the first place? And then if she loses, where does she go? Does she go back to just being the referee?
John, you're right, John. The referee wrestling then back in the day was something they did all the time, right? It was something they just this newer audience hasn't ever really seen it. So let's bring some of that old school back. Let's bring some of it now because
let's just bring the Bronco Luviches of the word back too.
Oh Jesus!
I think you can make a 10 count. He'd still only be on 10.
I think we should have. I know on WrestleMania match we should have Gerard Millette, the referee, against Brock Lesnar. That's what we need to fucking do.
Listen, I'll put my name in there. I will take an ass kicking.
I hope he whoops your ass and you get, as John said, I hope you get $60 as your pay-per-view payout.
Listen, I will take an ass kicking for WrestleMania payday. And I don't know if there's anybody out there who wouldn't do the same thing. You would take an ass kicking for WrestleMania payday.
Yeah, but I'll be wearing a shirt that said the fucking Marks podcast all over it.
Because now that they're going to allow personalized sponsorships.
What I would absolutely do was I would be your manager. I don't want to get in the ring. I have no desire to be in the ring. I respect anybody who can.
You took one bump.
I took those bumps. Dude, I used to fight in a fucking ring. I used to put gloves on and fucking get the shit kicked and fight back. And fucking look, I would rather fight in a fucking cage. I told you this before, than ever go and be in a fucking wrestling ring. I enjoyed fucking fighting for what it was, and it was a good time, and it was a competitive sport. I enjoyed Muay Thai. I enjoyed fucking jiu-jitsu. I despise taking bumps. That shit is fucking awful. The first time I had that lightning bolt from the back of my head to my fucking ass, I was like, nope. You can keep this shit. I'm done.
Hey, just be glad you did not.
And I tell people, you want to sit here and you want to criticize wrestlers that it's fake, go take a bump in a boxing ring. I'm not talking about Big Blue. I'm not talking about that padded, the one that's a little better. I'm talking about, and that's the shit they train on. That's just training. Fuck you. I'm not doing it.
If you took that first big bump and you didn't soil your pants, you made it.
And to be fair, some of the guys I told you the whole story was we were there. We were at Six Flags Mall. We were doing some shit. The guy was supposed to work with us on some jiu-jitsu stuff and showing us some. We're just doing some basic training. He didn't show up. The guy who ran, I can't remember what it was called back in the day. Anyway, Red Dog started there. Who eventually became Rodney Mack. The guys that wrestled for them were setting up a ring because they were doing some drills and shit. He goes, "Hey, y'all want to try this out?" And I said, "Sure, why not? This ain't fuck. We're fighting. This ain't shit. This wrestling. I grew up on wrestling, man. I've always wanted to be in a wrestling ring. Cool." So we ran the ropes. My fucking arm. I felt like I peeled the skin off my arm because I took it wrong. I was like, "Well, that's a motherfucker." Okay, well that shit hurt. Well, what you got for me next? I said, "What are we gonna start jumping off ropes and shit?" And he goes, "Yeah, that's advanced. We're not doing that shit, but we're gonna take a bump." What? Take a bump, man? I got this shit. You know what? I did it right. That's the thing. I didn't knock myself unconscious hitting my head. I hit the back, my fucking top of my back.
Did the old arms out?
I did the old arms out. I felt a lightning bolt from the back of my fucking head to the fucking crack of my ass, and I'm like, y'all can keep this shit. I'm done. I'll see you next week when my coach comes back. We ain't doing this shit. Fuck you. Fuck this. Fuck. I appreciated wrestling more that day than I ever have because it's fucking real. And these guys and girls throw themselves on their backs on a regular basis.
I tell people all the time, your living room might be more padded.
Fucking yes. And I have a wooden floor in my motherfucking living room. Fuck you.
That's what I mean. But we go from AJ Lee and Becky Lynch to
no. I think hold on. Are you okay with a WrestleMania match? Jessica Carr. I need an answer. Becky Lynch.
Not one-on-one. I think there could be a third person thrown in.
For what? What the fuck, Gerard? What storyline are you watching? Is it going to be the Mrs. Cardboard cutout? Is it going to be their fucking?
No, I'm just saying. I think
Who?
they could.
Who?
You might end up getting AJ in the middle, just so that way there.
Why?
I'm just saying.
Why? Bird Girl? You want Bird Girl back in there?
Neither one of them have to take a pin. You just pin.
Why can't Jessica Carr or fucking Becky take a pin?
I'm just throwing that out there.
I swear to God, this guy fucking, it's always something.
And by the way, John, remember
what did we joke about last night that Gerard would want her to ref and wrestle? She'd have to count out her own.
The old Boston Garden rings were in building rings and Madison Square Garden, so they always had the newest rings in the building, except for the fact that it was Big Blue. But those rings are always set up before we even got there. You never had to actually set up in Boston and Madison Square Garden. But then we get to, like I said, the CM Punk and Finn Balor match.
Before we even start this, I wanted to say I would have loved for Finn to win this. I think it would have been different and turn it into a triple threat, whatever. I don't know what they're going to do on the SmackDown side of the fucking Mania card, but I think Finn is due. I know that the implosion of the fucking Judgment Day is coming, but yeah.
I will say whether you loved the match or hated the match.
I thought it was a good match.
It was a decent match. They told the story right. Punk being busted open in the mouth bring a little bit extra to it. And Finn being the man to put the hand out I thought was the correct move. So, and I miss those days when they actually used to do that.
What about this? Do you think, and I'm going to go back to the beginning of the match in a minute, but do you think that Finn taking the IC belt off Dominic at Mania is a possibility?
I hope lightning does strike, because I'll tell you this right now. When was the last time he defended that title?
He's been hurt.
And, let's go back to the old 30-day rule.
I'm aware.
Is the old 30-day rule gone?
I don't fucking know.
And that's the thing to me, to where you got a guy who the 30-day rule, it doesn't apply to. You're supposed to defend the title at least once every 30 days. And they could have done that with him hurt.
You know what, Auntie? You know what, Adrian? Shut up. No, I get it. I just have a soft spot for Finn Balor, as all. But I will say this. Nice touch. I think you would appreciate this, being the fucking basketball fan that you are. Dun, 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 dun.
Listen, when they first came out with that Michael Jordan, I was pissed, because obviously, being a Celtics fan, and people forget that the Celtics won 9 championships in a row.
I'm a Larry Bird fan.
Okay. Michael Jordan, and thank you for that, because Michael Jordan said the only play he ever feared was Larry Bird. So many rules in the NBA changed.
We're not going into that. I'm just saying, did you like the fucking entrance? No. This is not the fucking NBA podcast. I'm asking you a question. Did you enjoy the fact that Punk came out to the old fucking Chicago Bulls theme?
No, because I don't like the Chicago Bulls.
No, you can't even fucking just displace for a second and not be.
I'm going to stay the Chicago Bulls because they were beating the Celtics. Why would I like anybody? Why would I like it? The old, this is the Eye in the Sky theme. No, I'm good with that. The Island Sky Project. I'm good with that.
Okay. How about this? Would you like this image?
Oh God. Ugh. Was that an older version of Riddle? How does that look like? Like I said, the match itself was a good match. The ending, I just thought I think it took a long time to get to the ending.
I know it was, Adrian, I absolutely agree with you. It was absolutely to pay tribute to the Bulls. But the fact is, Gerard is a fucking Boston dick, and he will fucking just say, hey, that was a nice touch. I can put my basketball hatred aside for 5 fucking minutes.
Last time the Brewers were in the Stanley Cup, they lost to the Blackhawks. Am I supposed to like that if he did something for the Blackhawks too?
He did. His trunks had the fucking logo of the Blackhawks.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not supposed to like that either. It's like to me, that's like supporting the Yankees. It ain't gonna happen.
But this motherfucker gives me shit when I just say the slightest thing about the Cowboys.
That's because your owner sucks.
Your team sucks.
Well, he did franchise that guy, though. He did franchise that guy.
Who?
Was it Pickens?
You done? You done? You done?
Yeah.
You done? You done? We're done now? Can we go back to wrestling again?
But it's like the crowd.
It was flat.
The crowd for most of that match was not. It didn't seem like they were there.
No.
Is it because they didn't seem like they were there because the preconceived notion of Finn Balor being in Judgment Day and not giving him? Listen, I don't want to see him in the match either. But once the bell rang and I saw the match going on, Finn Balor was the right guy to be in the match with him.
No, I know you don't like Finn Balor. I think that he absolutely is deserving. He's on that level. I think he's definitely on that level in ring.
I didn't want to see him in the match, but as the match went on, I did.
Did he win you over?
I think he needs to get out of the Judgment Day and going back to being a singles wrestler. And if
you just missed the demon, that's all it is.
That's what I'm saying. Could you imagine last night's match with him being as a demon?
This is one of the few times that your fucking goofy ass booking I think would have been a decent choice.
I think in my mind, does he go over? I'm not talking about winning the belt. Does he go over better if he comes out as a demon last night?
Well, does it work if he loses?
Yeah, it still works, but I'm asking, does he go over better with the crowd?
What I think should happen, again, this is like, booking from the fucking chair here. I think what should happen is that Finn takes on Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania as the demon. I think that JD McDonough turns on Finn after all these years of friendship. Dominic turns on him. Maybe throw Grande in there, throwing some shit. Throw some Grande Americano in there. And he comes back as the demon.
The original one?
Oh, no, it's got to be the new one.
Okay.
The only one. He is the original. What are you talking about?
What original?
This fucking usurper coming around trying to act like he's a Grande Americano. That short little fuck. I don't know who the fuck that is.
I saw 4 Grande Americanos.
No. There's only one.
There's a family.
There's a family. There's only one. Yeah. What are you talking about? Who that tiny little bearded fuck is? I don't know.
Next thing you know, he'll be telling me there's no Santa Claus.
I think at WrestleMania we're going to see a Grande Americano versus the original.
There is only one El Grande Americano.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I'm not wearing the Mexican colors.
Yeah, he's El Grande Americano.
Because that went over so well at the Rumble.
Yeah.
They're not going to do that again.
But I mean, that's where that goes. But then we get to the main event.
No, we didn't.
Oh, no, you're right.
We had something that was very nice.
You're right.
Very evil.
We had the reincarnation of the gobbledygooker.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Because that's exactly what it reminded me of. Was the reincarnation of the gobbledygooker showed up last night. Okay?
I felt so bad for him because you're not getting the best representation. This is living proof that WWE, real WWE fans live in a fucking... Put him back up, please. Put Danhausen back up. They live in a bubble. We're talking about physiques. And he usually keeps himself in an amazing shape. And I'm not saying he's in bad shape now, but he usually has a visible fucking six-pack. He usually looks great. And this little dance number, I like the Danhausen dancers. I thought that was a nice touch. But it didn't do him any justice. And that's the part that really bugs me.
In this whole dance, I thought the Munsters theme should have been playing. Because that's what it looked like.
I think that Chicago did not give him the proper love he deserved. He's fucking amazing. CM Punk loves the guy to death. I don't know. It just really.
And here's my thing about this, okay? It was an atrocity, a monstrosity from the beginning to the end, where you have don't open till the 28th, then they open it up, and you can see people running through the back of the box. I'm like, oh my God, this is gobbledygooker all over again. Why did they just put the egg in the middle of the building? The performer, the concept, maybe right concept, wrong town.
That I would agree with. I would definitely agree with. And I think that even the fucking segment was poorly done.
They could have done the same thing on Monday night. They could have done the same thing tomorrow night on Raw.
Agreed. But I would even more have said, put the box in the middle of the ring, have them open the box, have nothing be in the box, and then have him be on commentary going, what's going on here? Oh, am I supposed to be in that box? Make it true to Danhausen.
Michael Cole? What's up with the teeth?
Okay, so that's one of his gimmicks. So okay. All right. Just to educate you on Danhausen, okay? He knows that you can't use illegal weapons.
One word or two.
Pull up the video. Hold on. We're going to pull up a video on why Danhausen uses teeth. You know what? Pull up that. We may be a flag. I don't give a fuck. Pull up Ring of Honor. Who is Danhausen?
You didn't answer my question, though. Is it one word or two?
Danhausen.
Danhausen or Danhausen?
Danhausen.
Okay.
Go to YouTube.
Did the people in Chicago last night? You can't tell me the people in Chicago don't know who this guy is. The amount of times AEW's run Chicago.
Okay, yeah, this is it. This is the video I want you to watch. Okay, we're going to watch a video here. We're going to do something, and I'm going to try to explain to you. You'll see who Danhausen is. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I need you to just pay attention. And here
I'm too broke to pay attention.
Go.
Well, Danhausen came from someplace far away, and it's Danhausen. Why do you ask Danhausen who Danhausen is? It's this fellow behind the camera is asking Danhausen questions that he should know. Danhausen's very famous, very evil. Everyone knows who Danhausen is. Everyone loves that Danhausen. Why are there 2 cameras on Danhausen and all these lights? What are all these lights? It's an interrogation of some sort. Who's this? Ah, yes, Danhausen, again, from someplace far away, as he's already said multiple times now. He wanted to become a professional wrestler, if you will, because it gets him on television. And then, again, he becomes more famous, can take over the world. Yes, he's on every television in every single home. See, look at this. Danhausen sees you through your television right now, and or internet, whichever it may be. Danhausen does not care. Danhausen only cares about being rich and famous. Yes. Anyways, Danhausen here. Danhausen finally won his contract at Ring of Honor. And now he has many sacks of money and is very famous, very evil. Oh, yes, that's right. The blimp. Where's Danhausen's blimp? He won this contract. He was promised the Dave Honor said, I'll give you a blimp if you win this contract. And yet again, Danhausen has no blimp. Where is this, Dave Honor? Danhausen's waiting. If you swear, Danhausen gets taken off the air. So Danhausen says, no swearing, because then we get taken off the television or internet, and then Danhausen cannot be famous. It's quite simple, really. But I see, you ask Danhausen why he carries around teeth. Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Anyways, Danhausen here. I'll tell you, they're quite nice. When Danhausen was first traveling around, he'd collect different teeth from different people, and they're disgusting. So, Danhausen would feed them to his opponents, which makes them almost throw up, and he kicks him in the face. It's quite the distraction, but it's a legal distraction. The referee cannot disqualify you for pouring teeth in someone else's mouth. Good brain. Hello, I am Brian Johnstone. I am a loser, and I yell at internet people because, you know what? Danhausen doesn't really know what else he says because he doesn't really pay attention to him. He just keeps yelling at Danhausen. He swears quite often. This fellow's been a menace to Danhausen for weeks. Danhausen beat this fellow within probably 2 minutes. 1, 2, 3 won that contract right in the middle of the ring. But this fellow got back on the internet, wrote an email or something, and he said, I've lost my match, but now I must avenge myself. So, I have to fight Danhausen again and try to embarrass him on TV. But he will not, because Danhausen is all-powerful, very evil. So, there's no stopping Danhausen. Danhausen's unstoppable. Is that enough for you?
Oh my God. Sad part is, I'm just looking at it right now, his real name is actually Danhausen. I just happened to look it up.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
That's what we're going to go with? We're going to go with, like, really?
Yeah. It's weird. I'm like, what the heck? But I'm like, this guy is cuckoo. Before
You know,
you watch,
he is really a master of marketing. When he was trying to get back into AEW and get over during COVID, he was phenomenal, and he built himself and he got himself over. I don't know if he can do the same thing for WWE because they already hate him because of the way they introduced him to the.
And I'll say this: I went and met him. It was a comic event or a comic book store. Right? He was doing a meet and greet. One of the nicest people you meet. Sat there and had a good 5-minute conversation. Just chopped it up with him a little bit. He wasn't in character. He was actually himself. He had the face paint on to everything else, but he was there to sign an autograph for me. Gave me a photo, let us take pictures and all that. But he was just one of the nicest, most down to earth people. Him and Misa Kate, who is also an indie wrestler who retired. It's sad because you're not going to give this guy a chance because WWE botched this. It had nothing to do with him. It was wrong place, wrong time, wrong fucking crowd, wrong fucking segment. It just didn't go over well.
Well, I don't think you can hype somebody like that because everybody was expecting Jericho. That's who they thought was coming out, and so you can't take someone who's niche, who has
3 pay-per-views in a row.
following, but is not known in the circle he's about to be in, and put him on a stage like that and expect everybody to embrace it.
The best way
The expectation was way too high.
The best way to have done that, right, in my opinion, would have been like they did in AEW. So Orange Cassidy and him had a relationship. The guy, I think it was, I want to say it was Adam Cole, pulled a ladder out from the bottom of the ring when he was facing Orange Cassidy, and Danhausen was on the ladder going.
You know who could have got him over better?
Oh God. Who?
The Miz.
I knew it.
The Miz could have got him over.
He's right though. That's the problem.
You know, that I think that would have been him doing something like tomorrow night. Miz is in the middle of the ring. I'm challenging anybody, blah, 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 blah. And this comes out.
You mean like Obafemi? You know who could have got him over? Kip Wilson.
Oh God.
You are toxic. I am Danhausen. You are I am Dan. It would have been I thought that would have been great.
Look at it.
Don't give him more ammunition, Adrian. Don't do that. Don't you fucking dare.
Listen, keep it up and I'll throw some Barry Horowitz at you. But now to go from that, like I said, to the main event, and the main event couldn't come quick enough after that. Okay,
He is not a vampire. He's just Danhausen. Very good. What was very, very good, very evil. Very evil.
The internet trolls,
Very nice, very evil.
the internet trolls attacked the guy, and somebody mentioned it earlier. To where?
But no, it wasn't the internet trolls. That's the problem.
No,
okay?
I'm not talking about Danhausen. I'm talking about the match to where you have Logan Paul come out, you have Trick Williams come out, then you had Javon Williams come out.
Who said Javon Williams?
The announcer. The WWE's ring announcer called him Javon Williams.
Who was that ring announcer?
Mark, I can't remember. Mark, it's Mark something. Okay.
Has he been around before?
Yeah. He's been around for a while. But it's funny to where the internet people started talking about Samantha Irving never making mistakes. The great Howard Finkel. I'm like, first of all, Howard Finkel, his greatest attribute was announcing.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And new. That's what his was. Okay.
Wait, then what was wait. What was the GOATs then?
The rated R superstar. I'm saying is to try and get a guy to try and put blame on a guy who's announcing 6 names quickly, and he basically
quickly
he basically smashed 2 names together. At least he picked the 2 names of somebody actually in the match, because we've all seen them guys make mistakes where, wait a minute, this person isn't even in the match.
R-Truth.
So he at least said 2 of the names that were in the ring. But I don't hold it against him. He's a human being, for Christ's sake.
I don't give a shit. Didn't
Right.
hear about that.
And then
Jeff Harvey.
Yeah. But we get to the.
Let's talk about the entrances, though, right? Because the one they
took.
Yeah, and enough so that you see the fucking referee pulling fucking Javon aside, saying, "Hey, come on, let's move it along. Let's move it along."
Oh my God!
I do want your opinion on somebody. I'm not the biggest fan. I do see the representation and I do see the similarities to Booker T. I love the line "Lemon Pepper Steppers."
Happy birthday to him, by the way.
And thank you, fucking Booker, for putting Dave Meltzer in his place. That fucking shithead. Anyway. Past that. What do you think about Trick Williams?
I think he has all the tools to be that guy. I don't think he'll ever be that guy.
Why?
Because of, I think, politicking today to where.
But politicking today isn't what it was in your time.
No. What I mean by that is this. He has all the skills. He doesn't. To me, the crowd isn't there for him. And I don't know what they can do to get the crowd there for him. Even though they love the chant, whoop that trick. What makes him different from Swerve? To where they got
okay.
Swerve.
So here's the deal.
words.
I think they're looking for a Swerve because Swerve is more charismatic and more over than any of the guys they have right now.
And they had him. That's what I'm saying. Are they trying to replace that one with this one? But does Trick have that ability to do that? Because I'll tell you this right now. They're trying to ride him and his wife or girlfriend, whatever you want to call it right now.
Fiance.
And I don't see the magic happening.
You know what, Leland? You just sold me on something. I've been going back and forth. So earlier this year, we talked about the two guys that would be leading this company into the future. And we brought up two names. Gerard, do you remember those two names?
I think it was Braun.
Fatu. Jacob Fatu. What do you think about another two that could definitely lead us somewhere in a Trick Williams and an Obafemi?
I don't see it happening and I hate to say it, for lack of better terms, I don't think the crowd could get behind it for racial reasons.
Wait, which, who, and why?
I don't think the crowd would allow, because, like I said, I hate to admit it, are both Trick and Ober capable of doing this? Yes.
So you think that Trick Williams does not have the capability to be the guy because he's black?
I'm not saying me personally, but the wrestling fans, for some reason,
But you have an ideology of that, but we have the absolute concrete proof that wrestling fans can in someone like a Swerve Strickland.
My question to you is this. On the limited scale, you're correct.
He's still over like Rover.
Wait a minute. On the limited scale, I think you're correct. On the higher scale, with more of an audience, like I said, I hate to even have to bring it up, but I'm asking you is that's what I'm trying to point out to where.
So are you thinking that the WWE, not just saying AEW, but the WWE audience isn't grown enough to have a black star like that?
They have to.
That's a hell of a conversation to be had.
No. I think the WWE audience, the black guy has to work harder than the white guy.
That's
what I'm saying is.
Okay, so if he has to work harder, doesn't that make it more impressive that we have two guys in their fucking prime right now? We're not even close to the prime. They're hitting the peak. They're on the way to their prime. And an Obafemi and a fucking Trick Williams, who I'm not the biggest Trick fan, but I can see what I see with my two eyes. And when he comes out there, and it is a fucking craziness.
Well, is having to work harder a fan thing, or is that an issue of the booking and the leadership of the company?
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying to you. My thinking on this is this: do they both deserve to get to where they need to get to? Absolutely. I just think if you had two equally white guys, the crowd, in my opinion, I think put the two white guys there quicker than these two guys.
I think you lost your fucking mind, because if you listen to them come out.
I'm saying to you is everything else being equal.
Adrian, I think you're right. I don't even like Trick Williams, but I see the way the fans respond to him.
And that's why what I'm saying to you is I hate to even have to bring up the subject, but I'm thinking.
Well, no, let's bring up that subject. We had a time. Let's go back. We had a time when Booker T was on the verge of being the man, and his fucking rocket to the moon was shut down real quick when he got hit by the pedigree. After 40-something seconds, he finally got pinned.
You know what made Booker T in WWE? And it was the milk carton incident with him in Austin. when they're in the.
I know, but I'm not. But you're okay.
No,
Stop. Let's stop. Let's stop going away from the question.
Wait, hold on. They're in the grocery store, and Booker T could prove that he was a character that could do anything.
Okay, past that, Gerard. We're talking about something serious. Fuck milk. We're talking about two guys in Trick Williams, and I would say Trick has got a little bit more than Oba. We have Javon Evans, who my wife thinks is amazing.
Yep.
And you're saying that the WWE audience may not take to them because of the color of their skin. And I'm not saying, look, I'll make it very clear. Gerard Millette is not a racist person, doesn't have racist bone in his body. But you see a world where they're going to have to struggle because of the color of their skin in 2026.
I think they have to work harder.
Why?
It's because it's sad. Because you know why? Because I think even today in 2026, the mindset of most, I'd say most Americans, the mindset is.
I don't agree with you. And here's why. Hold on.
The mindset of your sports fans in general, they want to see the white guy prevail more than the minority.
I don't agree with you, and here's why. And I mean, I want to make it clear. I think that I understand where you're coming from. You have seen the old way of booking. You've seen the good old boys production. You've seen the way they used to treat. We've talked about it before. Hulk Hogan, how many fucking African-American wrestlers did he wrestle? Let's call it like it is. I mean, how many times they taken a person of my fucking heritage, taken a Mexican and made him mow lawns? Okay, I get what you're saying, but that was the time of fucking Uncle Paulie fucking running the company, of Spot the Gremlin fucking running the company. But we're in a different age.
Remember, this is not. I'm not talking about this as. I'm saying to you, the booking aspect of it, they want to see these guys succeed. I'm saying you can only succeed as much as the fans allow you to. That's all I'm saying. Listen, how within 3 months we heard, "Die, Rocky, die, die."
But Rocky wasn't allowed to be Rocky back then. It had nothing to do with it. Look, hold on. It had nothing to do with his skin tone, though, Gerard. It had everything to do with his character was all about, I'm the best in the world. I'm going to give it 110%, buddy.
He becomes part of the Nation of Domination, does one promo.
And yeah.
Because he only asked for one mic job.
Yeah.
And it took off. He took off.
And it had nothing to do with him being
and
black.
I'm saying to you is the mindset back then. All I'm saying to you is
I'm not talking about the mindset back then, and I feel like you're lost in that because you're so used to. Again, it goes back to your fucking prehistoric booking ideas. But I'm telling you right now, in 2026, I think this is the best time for someone like Obafemi, Trick Williams, and Javon Evans to be. And I'm not a big fan of. I'll say it. I don't like Javon Evans. I'm not into the bouncy gimmick. I'm not a big fan of Trick Williams. I just think he's weird. I like the line lemon pepper steppers. I like Obafemi. I do like an old school badass who just kick your ass. And I love someone like Swerve. But we are seeing a change in the dynamic that it's not about color.
In my mind, this always goes back to the old Rocky Marciano versus Mike Tyson and stuff like that. People say they fought in the same era, and you get people. Oh, here we go. Every time we got to start talking about boxing, somebody got to pull Rocky Marciano and stuff like that.
Okay, but it's not the same because we're in a time period right now, 2026, where it's going to be easier for a man of color to come out and shock the world.
Not when you listen. Let me ask you this: is Brock going to end up fighting Obafemi?
I believe that may happen.
And does Brock go over, or does
No.
Brock do the do?
I think that Brock, if you look at the way that Brock was so willing to do business with him in the Royal Rumble, that tells you right there Brock's willing to let him take the win.
Everything about what I'm talking about, just so people know, we're hoping we're wrong on all of it.
I'm not hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping I'm right.
I'm saying I hope I'm wrong to where I'm saying that the crowds put the right people over for the right reasons. I don't ever want to see somebody denied their true spot because of the color of their skin.
No, I don't. Okay, fuck the crowd. Let's take the crowd out of it.
Yep.
Do you think that Obafemi, Javon Evans, or Trick Williams has the stuff, charisma, in-ring acumen Mike's skills to be the man.
You know what the sad part is? Could you imagine if you could put all these three into one body?
What I'm saying, no, hear me out.
If you could put all three of them into one
Great.
body.
Okay, fuck that. Fuck what ifs. Do you think one of these three men has
One
the
of the
ability?
three, yes. Which one of the three? That now, if Oba was the turn, hold on, listen. If Oba was to have Paul Heyman as his mouthpiece, because Oba beats Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman comes over to him.
Do you think it's a part of the deal? Are they going to, if you win, you beat Brock Lesnar?
No. I'm saying is, Paul Heyman jumps on the Oba Femi bandwagon. Trick Williams. He has the $1 million look. He should be coming out in the Rolls Royces and stuff like that. Javon has the speed and stuff like that. He has the charisma.
I would love to see these guys acknowledged for what they are. Fuck skin tone. I think that Trick Williams, and I'm not saying I like him. Please understand. It's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. It's just I don't like the gimmick.
Thing.
I don't like the gimmick thing. I don't like he's just not. I don't think he's as polished in the ring. But
what can he change? Let me ask you this:
what he could do. He tries, in my opinion, too hard to be a pseudo high flyer. If you put him more of a grounded base, like a technical style, and he was more of that cocky Ric Flair attitude with a different kind of swagger, I would be on board with that.
Do you put Booker with him for a year?
I don't think you have to put Booker with him. You put someone like a style of a Nick Bockwinkel. You give him a mouthpiece that's like, I wouldn't even say Gunther because Gunther's way too young for that. But you give him someone who can like refine his technique.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying what's missing about Trick Williams that puts him over that edge. Right now, to me, the thing that's missing with Javon is his age right now, to where the experience, the age. Now, he has so many years.
I think the problem I have with Javon Evans, though, because I'm not a fan of his either, is he wrestles a style that's not built for longevity. And that's what I'm concerned about Javon Evans.
You know what I look at when I see him? The younger version of Patrick Clark. That's what I see when I look at Javon Evans. That's what I look.
You see the Velveteen Dream? I do not. I see. Okay, let's go to the Velveteen Dream. I loved the character, the Velveteen Dream, because he had one high flying move, and that was a Purple Rainmaker. And I loved the way he was versatile in the ring, but he didn't look versatile in the ring. And he could be that slimy heel.
Yes.
He could also be that great baby face. I loved the character, the Velveteen Dream. I think if Trick Williams, if anybody reminds me more of of Patrick Clark, I think that Trick Williams reminds me of the Velveteen Dream, but he has a little bit of that slimy, smarmy, I'm better than you, that money feel. Like of a Ted DiBiase, like of a Ric Flair. I like that.
Could you imagine Trick doing his routine, coming out in a business suit, coming out in a Rolls Royce to the ring?
I would love him coming out in a suit and put the fur jacket on top.
Yeah,
I would 100%.
Spice up his.
I would rather, and this is going to be such a petty thing. I would rather him be wearing trunks and boots, not shin pads and fucking and the shorts. I come out there like the old school. But that's my flavor. That's what I like. Have him come out there, clean cut, shaved, looking real sharp, going out there and telling you, I'm going to beat your ass. And that's what it's about. It's just not I'm going to take this size 14 boot. I'm going to put it right upside your head. I'm going to beat you because I'm better than you. Because you know that I'm better than you. Because this is just the way it's going to be. And until you find a better man than me, it is. Make him your new 60-minute man.
Right? I want you to think about that last comment. Is a born babyface. I don't think he knows how to be a heel.
But he's doing such a good job. He's being a cocky heel.
Here's the key to that. Most professional wrestlers will tell you what. I walk into the building a heel when I walk in.
Okay, so I'll tell you this, Leland, and you, Gerard. I'll tell you all this. Ric Flair, for a majority of his career, we all know that he was absolutely a heel.
Yep.
But he was beloved as that heel.
Yep.
Women loved him. Men wanted to be him. If you walk into any of those,
I'll take your wife to Space Mountain right now. There's nothing you can do about
he
it.
would do that, and he would walk in there, and how many kids who just stole their fucking dad's fucking finest suit were in the audience doing this number, doing this.
Yep.
Trick has a personality to speak to the younger audience and carry that swagger.
Could he be the next Rick Rude?
I don't think he needs to be the next Rick Rude.
I'm saying to you is, could he get to that? Does he need to get around to that?
No, I don't think he does, because it's a well-known thing that his fiance is Lash Legend. I don't think that needs to be part of his gimmick. I think he just needs to be a better technical wrestler than everybody else. No, he did, and that's the thing, Leela. I know he was a baby face, but I kind of like him as a heel. I like him as the heel you want to be like. I like him as that bad guy. I like that. I think it's,
Hey,
you know.
There you go. There you go.
What?
The next bad guy.
Razor?
No, he doesn't have to talk to. He doesn't have. But is he oozing machismo?
Oh, 100%. But
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. You did like Ric Flair and Razor were a tag team for a hot minute there, and they just played off each other because Razor was an ethnic heel. You don't use that's the thing. You don't have to play the ethnic with Trick. You don't have to play the ethnic with Oba. You don't have to play the ethnic with Javon. We're in a time when this man can just be Oba, Javon, and fucking Trick, and they can go out there and do their thing.
Heck, we could have a new nation of domination.
We
right?
don't, but why do we need that?
No,
Why do
I'm saying is you could have. I'm saying you could.
But what I'm saying is, okay, I don't think in 2026 there's a place that we have to have a Mexicools or a fucking Nation of Domination or Los Boricuas or fucking the League of Nations. We don't need to go there when these guys are so fucking talented. Fuck skin color. Fuck all that.
But here's my thing for you, though. Are they 2026 talented?
Yes. I think Trick Williams is absolutely fine.
All three of the guys can do it on their own.
Yes. I think Javon's proven that.
Why wasn't Oba last night in the match then?
Because they're doing something bigger for Oba. I think that there's
right now. You know who stole that match from me last night was?
Logan Paul.
Absolutely.
100%. 100%. Back to that match, I think that Logan Paul, and I told her last night, he's fucking trying to sign Gerard. I think Logan Paul, when he picked up those 3 pins and it was just him, Orton, and Cody left, yeah, he killed it. I know that whatever, but people need to let go of the stupid shit he's done in the past. You can hold on to what he's doing with Prime and all the fucking Lunchables and shit, or whatever the fuck he's doing, but the man can fucking go. I mean, let's just stop. Just everybody shut the fuck up, all right? Leave it alone. Stop criticizing. The man can fucking wrestle.
And you know, the sad part was because of what happened to end the match, it took away what he had done in the match. They weren't able to talk about Logan Paul getting the first 3 pins because of when he got pinned, what happened after Logan Paul got pinned.
Hold on, before we get there, you're just skipping over the match. We got fucking 30 minutes. We can take our time on the match. Can we do that?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to skip over the damn match. What I saw was Logan Paul taking a fucking beating. What I saw, Logan's back looked like
Yes,
hell.
it's worth watching.
What? Oh,
You will enjoy the match.
it wasn't the best Elimination Chamber, John, but it was worth a watch. It wasn't bad. Well, what I'll tell you is I watched Logan Paul again. He took a fucking beating. Look at his back.
I'm like, is his back busted open or is that?
Yeah, it was bruised. It was just fucking scratched, bruised. Which sometimes can hurt worse.
I would not want to have to be him taking a shower after that.
No, God, no. It was that part of his back was as black as fucking Cody's bicep when he tore it. But I love the match. I love that. I love that you had your moments in there. I think. Oh, the LA Knight botch. The LA Knight when he went for that elbow and he missed the rope. Fucking, he cannot catch a break, can he?
I'll put it like this: the recovery from it. I'll give him credit. The recovery from it. What they didn't miss a beat. They went into it and stuff like. Listen,
fuck it, and kicked him in the face.
Yep. You know what? It's a top rope. It's slippery after that much of the night and stuff like that. Guess what? That's the first thing that comes to my mind. That top rope is slippery. Wade Barrett mentioned something about it. You know what? You go on. Not
It wasn't indicative of what Bird Girl did with fucking Becky, where she slipped out of the zip ties and got back into the zip ties.
Yep. It's just one of those things to where if you always expect everything to go 100%, your expectations are way too high. That's just an expectation, okay? Because you got human being sweat and you got tape there. It's tape, okay? Tape gets very slippery when it gets wet. So I didn't even mind the botch. It actually, to me, if he does the move the correct way, I think the botch actually came across better than the move being done.
Well, I love that elbow drop. I don't think a lot of people like it because he does that L.A. night. Right. Yeah, but
the move, listen, him giving the BFT at the top of the pod, then him and them throwing Logan Paul off the top of the pod, all that other stuff went right.
Yeah.
So I can give.
From watching WWE Unreal, all the shit that happened at the fucking at Money in Bank, all the shit he caught, all the other stuff, I feel for the guy. He's not a spring chicken. He's in his 40s. I want him to win that one world title. I mean, look, if you're going to do it for fucking Jey Uso, who I'm sorry, Jey did not carry that.
Jey not being in that match last night to me took away nothing.
No. I think Logan Paul did a better job than Jey Uso would have ever done.
Because Jey probably would have been in his exact same position, and the match probably would have had the exact same.
Well, and that's the thing. They needed they needed Logan to be in that position because of the outcome, because of what happened. So we're building up. You have fucking LA Knights eliminated, right? And then you had another elimination, and you're down to your final three. A masked man comes in. They quickly rush him out of there. Then another masked man comes in, and in a familiar fashion, hits a kick to the gut, bounces the rope, hits a fucking stomp. Cody Rhodes makes the pin. He's looking over at the masked man. Mask comes off, and it is a returning Seth Rollins. How'd you feel about that?
I'm getting to the point of the overbooking. You shouldn't have had two false masked men because you had a false masked men Friday night reveal.
But and again, I disagree with you because it was telling a story. Hold on, it was telling a story. You also know that these masked guys were identified as members of Seth Rollins' school.
Correct.
He was.
You know what it is too, and maybe just because I'm done with the laughing, I'm done with the stupid outfits. If he came back and put on the Shield Gaga, maybe I could accept him back again.
Why does it have to be the Shield shit? Why can't he just be Seth Rollins again?
No, what I'm saying is something like that to where I don't need to see the clown outfits. I don't need to see the stupid laugh or hear the stupid laugh. Just let Seth Rollins come out being him. I could go back to that. I could turn on that. Yeah, I could go back to that. But which Seth Rollins are we gonna get?
I think
I'll tell you this right now. If I get a Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul match at WrestleMania, I want Logan Paul to win.
I don't know if it's going to be Logan. Hear me out. They're saying that Braun may be back before Mania. I say that what's going to happen is you're going to have Seth raising hell and causing issues for the Vision only for Braun to come back. What you're going for is Braun versus Seth at Mania. And do I think that Braun needs to win that match? Yes, because he's right at the fucking cusp of being a big deal. He needs a marquee match.
Now, to be fair, when it comes to Braun, I've had the same kind of injury. I don't do what they do for a living. I came back from work after a month. Okay? I don't do what they do for a living. But I know what it's like to have it. I think they're taking their time and making sure it heals correctly. So when he comes back, they get that run. I think SummerSlam is going to be all about Braun Breaker. SummerSlam is going to be about Braun Breaker.
And I think Braun Breaker's not going to wait till SummerSlam. I think that man's going to be at WrestleMania. And I think at WrestleMania, it's going to be him. And Adrian, 100%. So we're going to lead into the end of the match.
Yep.
Drew McIntyre.
How they did the ending, take away the schmoz with Drew McIntyre. How they did the ending, I liked the quick RKOs and stuff like that. But you did a disservice to Randy Orton.
Why?
By what you announced after the match was over.
That Cody's going to have a match with Drew?
Yeah, you did a disservice.
Why? So look, I love this call. I love that Nick Aldis. So first off, let's talk about the match itself. You have Drew McIntyre come in, hit Cody with the belt. He starts fighting with Cody. Randy RKOs fucking Drew. He's out of there. Well, he RKOs Drew, and then he fucking gets into the crossroads, hits him, and right after that crossroad bounces up, Randy did what you're supposed to do as a veteran in a situation like that.
Took advantage of the situation.
That was that, and if you're fighting for what they're saying is the most important match of the year, you're fighting for one of the main events in the most important pay-per-view of the year, right? You want to be on the WrestleMania marquee, right? That's your only goal. You're fighting all year to get there. What they did with that is they showed how important it is that I would screw my brother over. I would punch my mother in the face for that position. And he did that. I had no issues with the finish.
No, I'm not.
No, hold on. I have no issues with the finish. You have a character in fucking...
The right guy won. Once again, the right person won.
What I will say there, Drew... Wait. Yeah, I remember that. Drew and Cody have been having this back and forth, and Drew, again, cost Cody. You have to, at some point, bring a finale to it. So, yes, let's do that at SmackDown. And whether Cody wins and you have mentor or student versus teacher at Mania, or in some way, shape, or form, this all becomes... Because the rumor is supposed to be some sort of six-pack challenge for the belt.
My thing is right now, if I see a freaking triple threat match, Randy Orton deserves one more right off into the sunset moment.
And who says he's not going to get it?
If you have this triple threat
Randy's not, from my understanding, look, you got John Cena retired, you had fucking AJ Styles retired. I don't see Randy retiring right now, okay? I think the guy's still got a couple fucking years in him.
Here's my thing, though. At his age, listen, Randy might be doing some of his best work right now. But his age right now is his downfall.
It still looks pretty damn good to me.
I'm just saying listen, he's built like a brick shithouse. We'll all agree with that. But Father Time, as they mentioned last night, is undefeated. Undefeated.
Okay, but you're not. Look, did he look fluid in the ring? Did he look as bad as John Cena did in that fucking Elimination Chamber last year?
Listen.
We talked about it last year. John Cena did not look great.
He's not as good as he once was. But
okay, you can track all the jokes you want. Tell me right now, you're fucking Bostonian, John Cena. Did he look great in that Elimination Chamber last year?
No.
Okay. Did Randy look good this year?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to tell me that Randy still can't carry to the level that he's been carrying?
He gets his matches slowed down a lot.
Because that's his style.
No, compared to when he first started.
100%. But he's also a bulkier wrestler now, and he also knows how to wrestle. He's methodical. You take Steve Austin. You take Jake the Snake. I'm comparing the Snake gimmicks. But you take those characters, and you have Randy Orton. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. He's wrestling a style that most people gives longevity to. He's not a high flyer. Let's just call it what it is. But he's not a brawler. But he's not always out there doing stupid shit. Well, I say the RKO is probably a detriment to his body, 100%. But he's developed a way of doing that move and a style.
Well, here's my thing. You call it detriment to the body. I think the detriment to his body is less because he's just laying out flat. It's not like a leg drop and not like that to where your whole weight, he just lays out flat on it.
No, and I get that, but what I'm saying is you have Randy Orton, who's not only got the mind, but has kept his fucking body. Like, go back to talking about Raquel Rodriguez, a wonderful physique for the man his age, and he still looks like a threat. He still looks like what? What you got?
Nothing, except that Gerard's rubbing off on you because you just said physique.
Jesus.
What did he say? Physique?
I said physique. But you have a guy in Randy Orton who's doing everything right. Everything. His conditioning, his look, his style. He has slowed it down. Look at someone like The Miz. Not a lot of people like The Miz, but The Miz has a style of wrestling that's going to keep him wrestling. After all his fucking peers are retired, he'll still be able to go.
Well, think about it like this. You know, I'm glad you just brought it up. What one of his best attributes? He's never lost a lot of time due to injury. Don't know why.
The closest one he has, when he had the back injury, and they thought he might never come back, and he surprised us all.
But I'm just saying, is the fact of he kept it. He was able to keep something. And don't get me wrong, he's one of the most annoying people he ever wanted. But you know what? He was that versatile guy. He could change on a dime to keep himself relevant. Okay. My problem is today is you don't have enough guys like that, also known as the utility player, to where, hey, I can go this direction, I can go that direction, but it keeps me safe, keeps me relevant. It keeps me, I can go be a champion when other guys might get injured. Randy Orton right now is being the relevant guy to where, hey, these other guys that might be getting injured on you and stuff like that, but at my age, I'm probably at the best I've ever been. Keep me around just so that we're there.
Do you think he hits the 17-time world champions?
Do I think he breaks Cena's record? No. Do I think he can break Triple H's record? Yes. Do I want to see him break Triple H's record? Yes. If that was the case, I don't think Randy be anywhere near where he is right now.
I think that there's some truth. Go back to the Evolution, right? If they go back to Evolution, I think there's some truth that Ric Flair wanted Triple H to be his successor, much like Triple H wants Randy to be his.
If he doesn't blow his quads and he's out for the year, where does Triple H go in that year? And the other thing is, too, is Father Time caught up with Triple H. There's no denying it. He's come out and said it himself. You know what? His career ended much quicker than he ever thought it would. But the sad part was he was 75% better when he was done than most of the guys on the roster.
Adrian, I think that is a very unlikely outcome, but I would love to see it because for all the personal growth and everything that Randy Orton has done, he is a wrestler's wrestler. He is an avid professional in wrestling. He loves what he does for a living. He has made an amazing living on it. And we've always talked about it, Gerard. If you're going to create your baseline professional wrestler, physique, skill, and everything, you start right with the figure of Randy Orton. Randy Orton is your perfect creative wrestler.
And I'm going to say this like this to Auntie and everybody else. 22-year-old Randy Orton has cost 48-year-old Randy Orton.
I would agree with that. I would agree that he would have more world titles. I think he would be at the level further than he is now. Granted, that's not saying a lot because I mean, hell, he's one of the most respected guys in the back.
I'm just saying. I'm saying is what
I would think. I think he did
in his 20s. If he could go, if we all had crystal balls, we could turn around and go back in time. Rerun it.
But what I'm saying is, do you really want to do
that? I'm saying is, if Randy would be the first one to tell you like he did it. If Randy could go back 25 years and rerun his career, he would have done things a lot differently.
But do we really need to go back to that? Because he's grown up so much that we don't even think about his childhood anymore. We don't even think about him.
If he wasn't the so-called prick that he was back then, Randy we wouldn't even be talking about Cena having the record of Ric Flair because Randy, I think, would have surpassed it.
I do too, but in the same breath, we are where we are now, and he's gone on to be one of the most respected guys back there. So we can't sit there and harp on Randy Orton's past now. If he would have done this, well, if bullfrogs had fucking wings, they wouldn't fucking bump their ass every time they jump.
If I had my penis, she'd be my uncle.
So, but what I'm saying is, we can sit there and harp on it, but Randy won the match. Randy's doing an excellent job. Randy's still killing it. I would love to see the heel turn again for Randy. I think that's a needed thing. I would love to see that it was him that took out Jay. I would love to see that it was him that took out fucking Jacob back then, and that this whole time everybody's been blaming Drew again, but it was Randy. I think that would be a hell of a shocker. And
here's my thing, though. Would it be though?
No, because it was the Viper.
Correct.
And all this time, all this fucking time.
Because think about it. Randy hasn't come out and said nothing.
Yeah.
So for him to get exposed as the guy doing it, people.
Even then, you could have him telling fucking Cody. Hell, if it's Randy that cost Cody, and it tells him, "I taught you everything you know."
But I didn't tell you. But I didn't teach you everything I know.
And at the end of the day, him being Cody's teacher, kayfabe Cody's teacher or whatever, right? That leads cadence to later on Cody turning heel and going, "I was taught by the best. I was taught by a Viper." You can use that later.
Hey, remember this? Randy has an ace up his sleeve.
What's that?
Oh my God, you jabroni.
What?
Randy has an ace up his sleeve. What was his father's nickname?
I don't give a fuck about his fucking tuberculosis ass dad. Fucking trying to.
Bob Orton ace.
No one gives a. If you tell me that Cowboy Bob Orton's going to show up, you've lost your fucking mind.
I'm saying is
he's going to wheel himself out there with his fucking cast that's been on since the 70s.
He learned from his dad, who was ace, who had a 9-year broken arm.
You done? You done with this fucking ace? This is the old man fucking booking. They're like, oh my God.
Listen, at least I didn't say aces and eights. But,
you were such the fucking wrestling granddad. That's what you are. Jesus.
But,
all right. Fuck it. You know what? We're coming to the end. We got about, 7 minutes? WrestleMania. It's starting to take shape.
Yep.
What do you see? What do you see happening? What do you see? What are the big shockers we're getting at WrestleMania? Ow.
Obviously, in all honesty, I'm actually going to hope Punk retains against Roman Reigns.
No.
And we're not going to see a one-on-one for the other one.
No, I don't believe that either. I think that Punk needs to lose it. And I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm not trying to be hateful. I think that Roman's your moneymaker. And you can sit there and argue that, but you watch Roman come out. What? Yeah, he did, didn't he? Fucking Gerard.
Here's my thing.
Did you send that to him, Leland, on the YouTuber?
No, listen. The other thing I learned last night is that I think the Jade Cargill experience is over, and Rhea's going to take that title off her. And I don't know if we ever see Jade Cargill again if Rhea takes the title.
I think Jade takes it because she needs. I think Rhea takes it because she needs to go to SmackDown. There's nothing left for her to do on Raw right now.
Liv obviously takes it. I think Liv takes the title. There's no. That's a no-brainer.
I think Finn's going to face Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania. I think he's going to take the Intercontinental belt.
But my question to you is like this: with all these predictions, are these matches sellable? Are these the matches that get asses into?
I think you turn Finn face. I think he's absolutely a marketable guy. You bring back the Demon. I think you have that slimy heel against the Demon. You imagine him coming out at WrestleMania as the Demon. Woo! What a pop.
But like I said, though, you got 7 weeks to sell this thing.
Well, they're not doing a good job anyway. So
that's what I'm saying. Can you put more asses in seats after what you saw last night? Is there anything about last night that says to you, I have to?
No, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Fucking WWE has done a piss poor job about everything so far.
And, does it go back to unfortunately, because they've already got the money, they don't care about booking the show anymore. They already got the money. And like I said, next year, just so that people know, there's $300 million. There's 300 million reasons for next year for that show to be the shit. And I'm preparing for it to be the shits next year. It's going to be booked the shits and stuff like that.
Bad Bunny has a match. That's how they're going to fucking sell 10,000 seats.
You know, and that's to me, and put it this way, what he's doing right now in his music because of what happened at the Super Bowl, I don't even think he needs to be at WrestleMania. He got the top 3
He's a
songs.
fan. He's a fan.
But
you know what? I got a match here that's going to put butts in seats, and you may not like it, but it's going to do it. Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny with Jake Paul in his corner.
But who's in Bunny's corner?
Did you tell the audience that?
Hey, is there anybody in Bunny's corner?
Yeah. You put in fucking, you have him make up with fucking Damian Priest. Or
because remember that match with him and Priest? I think they shook hands at the end of that match or whatever like that because
Puerto Rico, brother.
Right.
Puerto Rico they were in a business, right? They were making money. They were printing money in that.
Yep. It's the only time Puerto Rico money.
But I'm telling you right now, you do Bad Bunny at WrestleMania. I don't like Bad Bunny, but you put Bad Bunny in there against Logan Paul. License to print money.
Do you put it as a main event of night 1?
No, fuck that. No.
Okay. But do you have it on night 2 though?
I don't know.
But hey, but before we go tonight, we got to let people know
What?
about next Saturday.
Oh, finally we're allowed to do that. Are you okay with that now? Are we good with that? We good? Would you like to tell them what we're doing next Saturday? Well, the show's going to start being on Saturdays. We're not allowed to talk about VKM anymore.
Well, yeah, the ban is back on for Vince.
The what?
The ban. You and I are not allowed to talk about.
You got to mention it. We haven't mentioned it all
mentioned
that long. You got to mention it now.
He mentioned it.
I'm not allowed to talk about Vince.
Corella DeVille.
Uncle Paulie.
Mark's moves to Saturday, same time, same channel.
Same fucking angry old man who speaks incoherently and talks about ers.
First of all, okay, let me tell you this right now. You know how many times I've ever heard from Chimmel, hey, is that a car or a car? Okay?
You leave Chimmel out of this. He's a goat.
No, listen. He was all over me because a certain team lost yesterday.
You know what? I'm sure he had every right because you're full of shit.
No. One of his teams won and beat one of my Boston teams, so he was all over me because of it. But like I say, so as of right now, 7 weeks to go, nothing says to me I have to be sitting in front of my television to watch it right now. They have 7 weeks to convince to put my ass in front of it. Will they get it done? Probably.
Stop. I don't know. Like Leland, you're saying, I don't know. I'm not interested in Seth Rollins. I after watching Uncut, I do have a little bit more respect for Seth Rollins. I'm not going to bust his balls as much on the show anymore. There's nothing on there that's really getting me. The only thing, they're going to have to pull a celebrity. They're going to have to pull a fucking Tyson move or something because this is not, no. And as for Gerard and his dreams of The Miz wrestling a cardboard cutout of himself while holding the money in the bank, we'll have to wait another year for that.
All of you Marks have been listening to the Marks Podcast on YouTube.